Technically last week was the start of American Remake August, but it was more of a palate cleanser before we got onto the companion pieces for the J-horror entries. Because of doing those, I'm not going to say originally by such and such, because I've done it last month. So let's kick off with Pulse from 2006, directed by Jim Sanzero, and written by Ray Wright and Wes Craven. And you can see it, there's a couple of things that I'm going to talk about later. This stars Kristen Bell, Ian Somerhalder, Christina Milian, and Rick Gonzalez. And obligatory thing that I've got to do you want to meet a ghost now? It's Kristen Bell. I mean, I could make a terrible joke about Ian Somerhalder being lost or something, but I can't think of anything good. One of the first things I noted about this, though, was welcome to Blue Filter Grainyland, because that is what this is. It's just rich with that blue filter. There's a few shots that I'm almost 100% certain are day for night shots. They've just been colour-coded rather than actually corrected. The scenes that look too bright for apparently being at night. They might have just been pick-up shots, I get it, but it's so notable or noticeable if you've ever seen a film and understood colour grading. But like I was expecting for a lot of these, I mean, it's been a while since I've watched this, and I will say this is better than its sequels. I may have to watch them at some point, but I really don't want to. Unless like people actually push and go, you watch it, watch it, watch it. I do not want to see them again. That's how much I remember them being just awful. But this is the best of the three, and it's still disappointing. There's so much here that like I was just, yeah, here we go, here's typical American horror film of this era. You know, there's ghost flashes, it's already over the top. 6 minutes, if you include the titles, it's about 6 minutes before the first jump scare. And that's not the only one. It really just, there's so much here that I was just like, why are you doing this? Why? And then they've got moments, though, that are beautiful homages to stuff from the original. Like, the recreation of the computer setup and room early on does look quite a lot like the original in Cardo. So I was like, this is not bad in some areas. But I think because one of the more recent ones I've watched was One Missed Call. In fact, it's probably the most recent video I edited before watching this, just to give you a weird peek behind the scenes of my timeline. But I was expecting someone to fall down a lift because it's in that, but it's not. This isn't that film. My brain was expecting things that weren't there. That's entirely on me. But there's so much here that I'm just like, I don't know why this exists. When I talked last week about, you know, remakes being if you can't watch it subbed, it's a good alternative. Here, just watch it subbed. Don't watch this or the sequels. It just, I don't see the purpose. It doesn't add anything, and in fact, it makes it worse. If you watch this and then think, and someone says to you, oh, do you want to watch Cairo? It's like the original Pulse, and you go, no, I don't want to watch that. I didn't like that film. And you can't be convinced otherwise. You're missing out on something that's actually pretty good by comparison. You know, they recreate some good stuff, like I say, like the tower jump. That was one of my favourite scenes from the original because it's just done so matter of fact. It's just in the background. And that's great. Although one of the things that I got from this time, because last time I watched it I wasn't a student, and they're talking about students not turning up for class, I'm like, it's just a normal end of semester. That happens. Like, in the last few weeks I was in, if we got 5 people in a room, that was a good day. At the start of the semester, even the start of the year, there were like 30, 40 people, but 4 or 5 in a room was good by the end of it. This is just normal. I would not, as a university student, bat an eyelid if all of a sudden, like, 2 people were in. I'd be like, yeah, end of semester. Like I say, so much here, I'm just like, why? Like, they recreated the shadow mold thing, like, on the walls in a terrible way. They do a very Western version of stuff as well. Like, rather than the afterlife's full, the ghosts are a bit annoyed and they're coming to do whatever, you know, the rest of it's kind of a bit loosey-goosey up for interpretation. But generally it's the idea of like, not hell, not specifically, but the afterlife is full, ghosts are coming back. This is, right, the dead are jealous of you living, so we're going to kill you. The reason and everything that basically drives the film is fundamentally changed. And I can't be on board for that. I think that a lot of the visuals, some of the scenes, some of the, you know, shots are well recreated, and that's kind of what they've lifted, but everything else is just a typical Hollywood trope for horror around this era. I could mock the technology bad thing, but that was the kind of message in the original because of, you know, the cultural things. They replicate it here, perhaps not for the same reason, just out of maybe a general fear, because this was still only 2006. We weren't anywhere near where we are now, where the internet was everywhere. You had the whole world's information in your pocket, or even on your wrist if you have a smartwatch. So there's a lot here that I'm not gonna slap down because it does make sense. I mean, there's some stuff in here that's pretty cool. Like there's the hands scene, as I've called it. It's a very cool effect. I like it. Like when she's all like grabbed him by the hands. It's on the posters and stuff like that. It's a very cool effect. Why? I know it's symbolism, like the dead trying to grab her, but it doesn't need to look like that. That was like a show off by the VFX guys. There's no other explanation that I can think of. It's kind of empty and doesn't need to exist. I think one of the things towards the end as well was the ghosts on the car. Because, yeah, ghosts are physical, and they're affected by the movement of vehicles. They're not. Like, they're ghosts, or whatever they are. So, although one of the things I did appreciate that, it seems to embody the roof of the car, like the metal, because they're coming through electromagnetic signals. I like that, but why can't they just come through there? Why do they have to, like, get in through the window and smash it? And it's almost like the visuals matter, the impacts matter more than actually why. And I don't like that. Now, I did say I was going to talk about a couple of things that made me go, it's definitely Wes Craven. Because there's the moment that she's in the bath and she's dreaming about stuff. And immediately, all I got in my head was the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Like the first, not the Jackie L. Haley one. I just remembered the scene with Nancy in the bath, the claw comes up. I was half expecting a bladed glove to rise out of the bath. But then, like I say, she's having weird dreams. It's very Wes Craven. He's got an obsession, or had an obsession, should I say. But I do want to end, as I always do, on a light note. Because, I mean, that was kind of light, but one of the things that I really was sad about at the end of this film wasn't that it ended. I was quite happy about that. But I'm just ragging on this film. This is how much I don't like it. I don't like to do this because people put effort in. But it's that awful to me. But yeah, I was sad at the ending because there was no super poppy tone shift music. We didn't have Katy Perry suddenly blaring. It was a very kind of atmospheric down thing. And I was like, oh. As much as I felt it was a weird tonal shift in the original, if they'd have done that, I'd have been saying this film's amazing. Like, that's how much it would have taken. Just give me that ending. And I'd have been so happy. But like I said, I don't want to go back and start talking negative. It was, yeah. I didn't get the poppy ending, and I'm sad about that. That's my light thing to end on. That tells you everything you need to know about my opinion of this film. So next time, hopefully, it'll be better. At least it's the same person behind it. So that'll be good, right? We'll see. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and as always, take care.